Down here in the bottom right position, he is representing Good Game Gaming. Give it up for Nice. And that puppy probably belonging to this guy up here, the Shopify Rebellion. He's got a doggy of his own. Give it up for Byun. And it looks like Nice already starting things off with a little bit more of an aggressive positioning on that first gateway here, even opening up a little bit more room into Byun's natural with that first little probe. Byun could obviously kind of get a little bit of a read on this, just sees that, okay, this probe comes in here with some minerals already. So maybe opened up the path just a little bit. You can kind of see it is blocked off by only 5 minerals. So that first zealot. Actually, no, it doesn't look like he's... Okay, there we go. So he's going to send that first zealot across the map, followed up with a stalker or an adept, and just going to look to put on a lot of early pressure here on Berlingrad. That's Nice. Just trying to slow down his Terran opponent as much as possible. There we go. First zealot is out. He does lose the probe, however, so that is a lot of information getting taken away from Nice in the early game here. But here we go. Byun has to recognize this aggression is coming, and already he's keeping his Marines on the high ground. So Nice will be able to get a pretty solid cancel on this first building SCV, but past that, I think Byun should be able to hold on the high ground for a bit of time, as he is going for the 3 racks overall. Well, the Zealot actually about to make his way in, getting a little bit indecisive there, but the wall is staying down. Byun already losing 1 SCV to this, but the Stalker is going to make this a lot more painful here. And the good thing for Nice is that he's not relying on this to kill Byun. This is just really annoying, really devastating early on, but he's already got the warp robo facility behind it. He can get a warp prism out. He can start an immortal rush, and already look at all this nice lost mining time. 3 SCVs going down as well, looking for the surround. Almost gets it, but he is just gonna focus fire down these Marines. I gotta say, Byun is in a bit of trouble here early on. Now that that bunker is down, I think he should be able to hold on. After losing, yeah, 6 SCVs, 3 Marines. And now Nice, just gonna go for the soft contain. Look at that, we got a couple of different options available to him with this Robo Bay going on down. He can go straight up into Colossi, which would be a pretty good choice, as there's not really that much production here for Byun, in the fact that he doesn't really have any splash damage. He doesn't have any supporting units. He doesn't even have medevacs right now, so every little bit of damage going down will not be able to be healed. He doesn't even have stim started up because he is so desperate to get out that concussive shell so that he can stop this early game damage. So the other option, of course, is if you wanted to decide to go for, say, disruptor drops or just something else in the backfield to kind of tear Byun's attention apart. I think that's one of the best ways you can kind of deal with him. But no, it's going to be just straight up Colossi drops. This push, it's not really that scary for Nice, as he does have plenty of units back at home. He's got the shield batteries down, and he will have an overcharge available to him. I think Byun wants to be a little bit cautious with how he decides to play this fight out. Good stutter steps right here, trying to mitigate some of that damage on the Marauders, keeping the Marines in front. But there goes that first Colossi, and Nice with a very fast 1-0 over his opponent. we're going to move on to game number 2, and he's in the lead. And once again, we do see Nice going to be a little bit more aggressive. He has tasted Terran blood, and he is itching for more. He's not going to go too crazy here. He is going to get the Cybernetics core, and right afterwards, we should see that Nexus coming down. Yeah, there you go. But now Byun really needs to get an indicator on this, and he does get a really good first scout. Just showing that, okay, there is a good possibility that a Zealot is on the way to my main base. But so far we don't see one on the production tab here. And the reason I do think that there is usually a Zealot with this is because you don't really wall off like this versus Terran unless you just want to be closer to them. Looks like instead we are going to get a Stalker very early on. So we'll have to see if Nice wants to follow that up with some sort of Twilight Council build, or if he's going to go straight back into the Robo facility. As I don't really think he's going to go Stargate just with this opening. Reaper does manage to get in here, gets a very nice first kill, pulls a lot of these probes, so that is a lot of lost mining time. The shield battery coming in just in the nick of time though, so the Reaper shouldn't really get too much more done. As this Stalker makes his way up the ramp, looking for a CC to cancel, but unfortunately, Byun is playing it very safe this time around, getting that CC up. Actually, this is a pretty nice way to go for a Byun. As it looks like I have forgotten to make it with Observer Plus, but... oh, never mind. There we go. Just didn't kill fast enough. But oh no, Byun actually not really paying attention. His attention was on the other side of the map. He will be able to kill off the Stalker, though. The Adept not really trapped anymore. So overall, that could have been really bad, but it looks like he is going to be able to clean this up. Ooh. Maybe a little bit of a miscancel right there, as this Reaper still jumping around, getting 4 kills to his name. This is literally Rambo Reaper. And he will be able to... never mind. So behind this, I was wrong. It looks like Nice does decide to go for the Phoenix style of play. Double Phoenix going to be coming out here, and Byun again just playing it a little bit safe, as he has seen that Stargate. He's just going to get the Cyclone up. In fact, never mind. He's going to cancel that, go straight for the Viking. And yeah, just mind games all around here from these two players. Like Nice gonna be going for a little bit of an expand behind this as well. So really the best opportunity for Byun is to get some early game damage in, as Phoenix are very expensive to kind of build at this stage. You really don't have a lot of minerals for too much else. And you're not really going to have a lot of supporting units on the ground. So Nice really has to focus on the harassment right now with these Phoenix. And just try and build up. He's already got his third base down and building. It's all going to come down to how long he can keep Byun contained in his own base. So far, doing pretty well. Catching a few stray Marines. Even just going to straight up fight. Take out about 3 to 4 of those Marines for the cost of 1 Phoenix. Not the most cost-efficient trade, but good enough for now, I suppose. We already have the Twilight Council down. The transition is in full swing. And Byun still hasn't made a move out here. He's just waiting to build up the Phoenix. Taking a Widow Mine shot. One of them will go down. And now Nice, he kind of has to decide, do I rebuild them or do I put the minerals into my transition? It looks like he did a little bit of both, as he will get that next Phoenix out. He wants to build up a nice solid count. We'll be able to get the Widow Mines as well. Those are really nice, but not focus firing that one. Will eventually realize that. But he's got charge, he's got armor on the way. Byun's own +1 attack about halfway complete. Yeah, I think Nice has done a really good job of just making sure that Byun is staying very, very safe. So now from here, it is going to be pretty much charge lot Archon, as Byun does have quite a few Marines, so a lot of that Archon splash will be pretty darn nice to have. He's only just now getting his third base up at the 7-minute mark as well, so that will take a little bit of time to establish that position. As Nice just looking for these kills. He's even going to get upgrades for these Phoenix just to make them a lot more annoying to deal with. Now Byun is getting ready to move out. However, how many units are on the ground? 14 Zealots. That should be enough, but it's going to come down to these Widow Mines. So far, the Phoenix trying to get on top of them, not able to. But one Widow Mine does get a little bit too close for comfort. A big connection right there. Going to soften up a lot of these Zealots. One Phoenix a little bit too big for its britches. Now the Phoenix trying to bait the Widow Mine shots into those, into that bio. A little bit of a split right there, trying to just mitigate some of that damage, but Byun is still able to push his way through. These units starting to get heavily into the orange, but there's just not a lot that Nice can really fight against this anymore. A little bit of a lag spike here as it's like enough is enough though, as GG is called. So Byun ties up the series 1-1. Now remember, this is a best of 7, so these guys have the potential to go the distance. Alright. So this time, Nice is not going to even try and pretend like he is going to be too aggressive here. Glittering Ash is quite a large map. So it wouldn't really make too much sense for a rush, but Byun just going to be 100% certain. Sends that really early SCV just to make sure. And he will get a nice little read on this, as Nice banking up quite a few minerals, getting ready to drop that Nexus, but playing it very safe, getting that Cybernetics core first. Back at home, we do have that first Marine going to be popping, so once again just skipping the Reaper in and showing that he does get all the information he needs just by seeing that Nexus. And yeah, it looks like this is going to be a very standard 1-1-1 timing here from Byun so far, as the factory does go down. Still no indicator as to what Nice is going for here, but he is going to spend a little bit of extra gas getting that sentry out. So yeah, that tells me exactly Twilight Council. And probably going to be looking for a, I don't want to say a really fast push, but he's definitely going to go for a pretty decent timing here. Basically, you get these sentries out so that you can force field the units, trap them away. And if you don't really have a lot of medevacs to retreat, it's going to be a very painful route for the Terran player. Now, luckily for Byun, he does have another scout coming across the map in this Hellion. So if he sees the Phoenix, that's going to be a pretty big tell for him. We do have a little bit of a hallucinated Oracle just looking to kind of do a little bit of mind games here. So far not showing the sentry though. I really like that from Nice. But here we go. Let's see how Byun reacts to the fake. So far, no overreaction whatsoever. He's kind of noticing that, okay, this Oracle's not attacking. So, probably indicating that he knows it's a hallucination. We're going to get a nice cancel on the third base for just a second, as the Adept has to come over here to shoo this Hellion away. Drop getting ready to come in. Nice has sniffed it out. As he makes his way back inside, looking for the kill on that medevac. Won't be able to get it just yet. Byun still looking for an opening. He will actually find it as they start to go away. Widow Mine drops out first just to pull away the probes, and already this isn't really a lot of damage. He did only just get one probe there, or excuse me, he killed a stalker. But what he did do was he denied mining for a little bit. Even a couple of seconds, you can kind of see really starts to stack up in your favor. Might seem like a small thing, but in StarCraft 2 this is a game of seconds, and having minerals just a little bit slower is deadly. Oh my god, that is some beautiful micro out of Byun right there. Just keeping those Marines alive as well. As Nice just really... I don't want to say he's struggling, but he's not having a good time trying to get the information as to what his opponent's going for. Byun just really shutting down his information as much as humanly possible. Raven as well, making its way across the map. Just getting a couple of kills here and there. It's not really meant to be game-ending damage. It's always nice to have. As we do see Nice adding on 5 additional gateways, going up to charge, and getting his +1 upgrades as Byun. Hey, he's only starting his +1 just now. Nice rotating around the map, looking for some pickoffs on any sort of move out here, but Byun is just powering up back at home. He's got his third base building, but that's going to take a little bit of time. It looks like Byun getting ready to move out, actually. He's got his siege tanks coming with him. The Raven as well, just trying to pull away some attention. Not going to drop an auto turret just because he knows it won't really get too much done with that battery. But here we go. Phoenix getting a little bit more information on him as Stim is about to finish up. Now, one big thing to note here is Nice does have the upgrade advantage. He is currently on 1-1 and will actually be able to get the wraparound here right on top of those siege tanks, as the Zealots do drag a little bit of friendly fire into the bio. Byun not really paying attention with all of his units, will lose an almost full medevac. That was an absolutely dreadful push here from Byun, and now he is lost pretty much all his map control.
Game paused.
And sorry about that. Apparently, I muted myself. I do not know when. But yeah, essentially, he needs to keep those medevacs alive. He can't really afford more drops like that because he's gonna need all that gas for the ghosts, for the upgrades, for the widow mines, just for all the supporting units that he needs. But it does look like he is going to be moving out on the map once again. Nice. Looking for a surround here. We got a Dorito cannon, so now he can't really engage against this anymore. Force field trying to slow down Byun, but he is like a train right now. He is not about to stop. Getting another clean connection right there. As the Zealots are trying to force this back, the Widow Mines not getting the connections just yet. They are just merely there to be fodder. And we do see a small Zealot run by. Gonna get a little bit done here. As the main fight continuing on this side, Nice still has the army or the supply advantage, but he does not have the army advantage anymore. As Byun bringing the rest of his units to bear, that is still a ton of Zealots though. Widow Mines get a little bit more connections in, but here comes the rest of the Terran, and yeah, Nice can't really fight this while he is under the effects of the anti-armor. Keep in mind though, he is up one upgrade for a little bit longer, as the +2 has not kicked in for Byun. Immortal just gonna get focus fire down. The Zealots trying to go for the reinforcements. They will be able to get them, but the EMPs gonna be absolutely brutal here. The ghosts do go down, however. And now Nice able to push this back. But it does not look like Byun wants to stop anytime soon. He wants to continue trading, as his units are a lot cheaper than his opponents. A little bit late on the missile turrets here, so the DT is going to start to go to work, as it does distract Byun's attention from the main attack. 15 SCVs going down. The entire third base has whittled away to nothing, and this is absolutely devastating for Byun, who is currently down to 56 workers. He needs to kill this base. But with the amount of Zealots and the shield battery and the surround, I don't know if that's going to be possible. Yeah, he's got to pick up and get out of there. Not before losing 2 almost full medevacs. Oh, wow. Nice is just absolutely dominating right now. And he's going to be looking to close it out with this last big push. The Ghost in front will be able to get its EMP off, but it does get destroyed. Disruptor keeping Byun from chasing, as it's currently 90 army supply to 72. The Disruptor might go down, and indeed it does. But behind this, Nice is just going to turn around. He's going to trade off a little bit more of this army, and behind it he's going to get that second robo facility. So he is just powering up in a way that Byun is really having trouble going to contend with. Although the good news for Byun is he is able to get back up to 73 workers. Nice, just going to dive right on top of this base, but the repair a little bit too strong under whittling Liberator fire. Byun just going to try and fight straight up here, but the reinforcing Zealot's flank is pretty strong here. It looks like Nice may have overextended just a little bit as he loses another disruptor just off by itself. Now Byun gonna be looking to put on a little bit more pressure of his own. Does he have the army to keep this fight rolling? I don't know. It's gonna be pretty rough. He is still down in upgrade, and these zealots are finding magnificent amounts of damage. I think the best thing Byun can do right now is focus down the Nexus and then get out of there. He can't really afford to lose this army. We do have a very big zealot run by going to be coming in here to the third base. Only 4 probes have gone down so far. He does whittle down that Nexus. As the run by does get deflected here, Byun keeping this army alive, and he's actually ahead 30 army supply now. So this is a really back and forth game. I think Nice might have overplayed his hand by just staying on gateway units for this long, but now that he has Colossi, now that he has a pretty sizable death ball, Byun is going to have to fight with pretty much his entire army together in order to win. It looks like so far he's doing alright. He's not really losing too many units, but this army is getting redder and redder without a lot of healing energy left in these medevacs to surround by Nice, forcing the lift up where the Stalkers reign supreme. A small run by over here, gonna get deflected as well. Byun had a very strong start, but at this stage, he's just really having trouble keeping that momentum flowing. Okay, the +3 upgrades do complete as the Viking production has started. Looks like we have a couple of kills going on down as the drop comes back in. The Stalkers and the Zealots gonna be enough to clean that up, hopefully, for Nice. As we go into the late game here, we can see Byun is essentially sticking with full peak Marine Marauder because he doesn't really have the income to do too much else. I'd love to take a look at the army graphs here. Very even. You can kind of see where the main engagements did occur. As we do have another base of Nice going to be going down. This is essentially guerrilla warfare from the Red Terran player, and it is working out in his favor for right now. But look at this Protoss death ball. 4 Colossi, a disruptor that does die. This is still a little bit risky here, but look at that. Byun fighting on multiple fronts. The Zealots fighting completely away from the Colossi, so they will get target fire down. Only 1 left on the right side. I think Nice had a really tough time with that fight, and now down to just half the army supply up. Beyond these Vikings, gonna rain hellfire on the Colossi, and Byun is gonna be looking to push for the victory. Actually, never mind. It looks like he's gonna pick up and go home with quite a few of his units. Maybe just trying to reposition on the top left side of the map. The blink forward, there is just no chance of saving that. The missile turret does give a little bit of vision, but the army sent over here to reposition does decide to die to the whittling fire of those DTs. And Nice gets out of there pretty much scot-free as Byun had to lift up his main base to go for a third, or a new fourth, excuse me. The BMP is going to blanket this Protoss army with the Colossi in the backfield, getting some magnificent connections as Byun looking for the surround. As the rest of his army is coming on in, the Colossi doing what they can, but they are now stuck between a rock and a hard place, and they have gotten squished. A Zealot warp in, looking to be enough as Byun is forced back just a little bit as the DT's reigning supreme, destroying a lot of the production here from Byun, forcing him to come back home to defend. This game is absolute chaos. And honestly, I think Nice is getting a little bit better in that chaos. Oh, actually taking a look at the army supply now. Nice is still down by half. It's gonna still have 2 Colossus available to him. So he will have 3 total. So Byun really gonna have his work cut out for him with this fight. No EMP is gonna go down just yet. He used the 1 on the shield battery. But again, he is just hemorrhaging workers to this Dark Templar. Looks like the Widowmines do try to get in there, but they do not manage to go. And Byun, like, he's got the better army, 111 to 81, but Nice just has a way better economy. Look at that, almost 3,000 minerals separate these two. And he's gonna lose his base. Almost assuredly. Nice, playing it a little bit cautious, is going to back on out so he doesn't get surrounded by the army of Byun. And another big warp in of Stalkers is going to mean he's perfectly safe here on the high ground. Did you see that? Widowmine getting 1 little connection. But here we go. Byun going to make his way in. Focus fires down a couple of those Colossi very quickly as the Stalkers starting to push this back. The Zealots buffering for the high ground. Byun doing what he can. He is dropped below 100 supply, and he is once again losing quite a few units to the Dark Templar. He finds the Colossus. He will get 1 more of them. His army is getting smaller and smaller and getting surrounded by the second, and GG is called. And already Nice, you know, he's understanding that where Byun could be coming from here on Hardwire. Just making sure that there's nothing too cheeky coming his way, as he's just going to get a full-on scout of every proxy location anywhere near his base. Byun is going to go for a very fast scout of his own. Going to be seeing the fact that the Nexus is just a little bit later, so that does tell him that this was a Cybernetics Core first. And I don't know if he clicked on it to know how far along it was, but looks like he's going to be skipping the Reaper once again. The Reaper not that good on this map, I'd like to think. Although there's a lot of area to kind of dance around in, it's really, I don't know. I don't think the Reaper really does have a lot of utility in this matchup, unless it's used to kind of catch your opponent off guard, especially with Nice playing as conservatively as he is, and just getting that shield battery without any hesitation. It's a relatively cheap building for him, as it just gives him that little bit of a peace of mind. Also, getting rid of the servo bots. This guy wants to play dirty, and there is no way he's going to let anyone clean him up. Looks like it is going to be Stargate once again. Yes, we do have a Hellion going to be coming out just for a little bit of scouting information. The Adept will manage to crush one of the Marines. The second one will live, but he will be hurt for quite a bit of time. Looks like Byun's getting ready for another Widow Mine, or not another one, but he's getting ready for that Widow Mine drop. As we saw in game number 2, he just likes to go for that one Widow Mine and a bunch of Marines just to get a little bit of early game damage in. As the Hellion kind of recognizes, okay, there's a bunch of Adepts here. More than likely it's going to be Stargate. There you go. We see that Tech Lab go down instantly to start Cyclone production, even canceling the medevac to go for the Viking. That is a really good tell here for Byun. First Phoenix has entered the fray as the Oracle does get deflected completely, not before getting a revelation down, however. It looks like the Hellion does pass away here, but it looks like Nice is just gearing up for that powerful Phoenix Adept push. This is really lethal, especially if your opponent is focusing quite heavily on the Marine production. Stim will not be started for quite a bit of time either, as he's only just halfway done with the second and third racks. Loving the double upgrades as well. As we do see a couple of pickoffs going on in. He doesn't get to stop the third CC. That will finish up. And he should push that onto location relatively soon, as we do have charge started up. We'll have to see if he does decide to throw down the facility or if he's going to go straight into Templar Archives. But yeah, honestly, a really solid here for Nice, and he's even going to feel confident enough to get a fourth base down very, very quickly. The Adepts have begun their little foray. They will just kind of whittle down this orbital command. He has to lift it up if he wants to keep it alive. He's going to try and fight down here on the low ground, but that is a very risky proposition, especially with those Adepts ready to jump into the natural just in case. Gateway explosion as well. 5 additional ones on the map as these Phoenix are going to be coming in, finding some beautiful bits of damage. The Widow Mines going to find their mark, but it's not enough to kill just yet. They set their phasers to stun, but there you go. Little bit more going down there. The Oracle did fall, so no revelations for this army. Now, Byun sees the fact that there's no additional gas on this third and fourth base, so that kind of tells him that it's going to be a very zealot-heavy composition. As we do see a drop being loaded up. I don't know if the Phoenix saw that. I think Byun actually may have F2'd there for a second, as well as that medevac was going straight towards the Phoenix. Now Byun really needs to get a little bit of damage done. Nice is just really exploding in terms of that economy. Nice. No pun intended. That was just a nice pick off there for Byun. It looks like he's going to try and push on the right side while also trying to distract the army on the left with this small drop. Does find a good position behind the rocks where the Zealots won't really be able to get a lot of focus fire here. But here comes the main attack force. Widowmines getting a good shot off on the front line. But there is still quite a few Zealots here, so I don't think Byun can really push his way in. Very nice pick off right there. Getting the second Oracle, forcing a third base, or excuse me, forcing a third Oracle. It's a nice pick off, definitely. Look at the units lost tab as well. Byun being a lot more cost efficient in these fights, but Nice is having none of that. He's getting ready to absolutely smash his face in with the warpins in the back line, forcing Byun to decide between his attack and his defense. Looks like the Zealots trying to come around. They were fighting together, but now the whole army is fighting as one. They are starting to get picked off, however. And it looks like Byun just has way too much. He's going to be able to punch his way through this. The Zealot run by doesn't really get a lot done as the Ghosts and Marauders are able to clean it up. Now Byun has a very nice 60 supply lead. This army though is heavily in the orange for Byun, so every time he stims, it's going to get worse and worse. He needs to finish this out now, as he doesn't really have a lot of healing available to him. Doesn't even matter though, as Nice gets the tap out. And Byun will tie up the series. The player, Nice, if you remember the last couple of games, he definitely is not playing like nice with his opponent, being completely attack focused. I'm making it sound like I'm hating the guy. No, I'm loving how he's playing. He's playing it dirty. He's playing it rugged. He is really hitting Byun hard where it matters. So a lot of great gameplay here out of Nice. As just gonna get a little bit of a scout around with this first little probe. Nothing really too much to see, as he's just gonna drop the cybernetics core as he does. And I'm interested to see if he does decide to go for Phoenix once again. Byun himself is deciding to just go for the Reaper Scout on 2K, just to make sure that he stays completely safe. Oh, a little bit of fake out though, as that will delay any sort of a reactor from Byun. Beautiful placement, actually. Looks like Byun though, just saying to heck with it. I don't need it exactly on position. The Reaper gonna be coming on in. Gets a couple of quick probe kills. Denies a lot of mining time here, but with the shield battery, he shouldn't really find too much more damage. As that first attempt gonna be making its way across the map. The second one, oh, it looks like it's actually gonna follow him. So this Reaper lot of room to breathe. The Adepts, though, just going to be able to shut this base down very, very quickly. And Byun is forced to defend on the high ground with what little forces he has. So this is pretty annoying for Byun to deal with, as he doesn't really have the unit composition to crush through it quickly. And now he's even going to be in a lot more trouble, as that Oracle is on its way. There's not too many Marines available here. He's got a Viking, yes, but he's got to be in position for it as well. I think Nice has done a really good job of kind of just doing a soft contain, very light. Behind it, we are going to have those additional gateways coming on in. So he's going to go back into charge lots right after this. One thing I like for Byun, though, however, is he's going to get these second and third racks a little bit quicker, just making sure that he should have enough units now. Recall is forced, but that was not the best move. Very quick death there for that Oracle. Those doing a lot of damage. You gotta say, really impressed. We're just gonna sack it right now for another one. Won't be able to get it. Gonna be coming on in, but the Phoenix have already been revealed a while ago, so nothing really too much else to show other than the Twilight Council transition, which, I mean, Byun already knew about that once the Phoenix popped out. He knows that Nice doesn't really stick with a very heavy Phoenix count, just goes up to about 5 to 6 and then transitions. So we should be seeing, I don't know, just a little bit more from Byun. I would like to see him drop down his third base, perhaps. That's one thing where he might fall behind in terms of economy. Maybe get his fourth and fifth racks before that. It's really hard to say what the correct choice is, but he is really just giving Nice a lot of room here. Even though Nice is down half the supply in total, it doesn't really matter because all those minerals that he's saving, it might not look like a lot, but he is, it's just going towards a very, very big buildup here. And it's going to snowball quite quickly. Phoenix, though, getting caught out, will almost go down, but not going to be able to kill them off just yet. Charge is about 5 seconds from, or 10 seconds from finishing. So if Byun can force the fight before that's finished, he might have a better chance, and indeed he does. Looks like Byun is going to be going for the 3 racks as well behind it, as he's got his second one started, and the third should follow. There it is. So Byun's going to be looking to close this one out quick, early, and dirty. Looks like Nice is not going to be going for a starport this time, or Stargate this time, as he is going to drop that sentry. A lot of extra gas going into that. So Twilight Council is the next step. So the thing about the Twilight Council opening is it's not necessarily a full hard counter, but it is a very nice to have versus a 3 racks here, because you can get Blink. There's not really going to be a lot of healing available, so the pickoffs can be very, very nice for the Protoss. We do see the Oracle here going to get a full scout, sees that there's a small attack wave coming his way, so he's just going to drop an extra gateway, try and block off the ramp as much as possible. And Byun, he shouldn't really stick around. He's not wanted here. He knows that. On move command there, so that could have been a nice little kill on the hallucination. How many gateways do we have so far? It looks like we have 3 in total. So the blink gonna be pretty darn nice, no pun intended. And stim about halfway complete. As well, the Marauder production has begun, so Byun going to be looking to push relatively soon, but I don't think this is going to do anything. There's 2 force fields available, and those sentries are just going to be building up that energy, so getting up that ramp is going to be almost impossible for this small force. Alright. Nice little snipe on that adept right there. This is a this is risky, I gotta say, because there is a lot of room between that third base. Stim gonna go down, but realizes his mistake almost instantly. That's gonna cost him quite a few Marines. And keep in mind, Byun does have the army supply advantage, but he is now stuck in his base, as every time he has stimmed, there has been nothing to heal. The medevacs still nowhere near ready to go. Look at that, he doesn't even have the reactor now, so a full map presence here from our Protoss player. Gonna try and get up the ramp. He gets another Marine for his effort and gets out of there with all of the stalkers as well. Just take a look at these pickoffs here from Nice. They're gonna really start to stack up. Especially as he's got that gateway explosion coming on in. He's got charge about 30 seconds from finishing. And he's got a full contain on Byun. Rock's already broken down, so he will have a good opportunity to get a kill on this force right here. Especially since the pylon gave him a lot of early warning. The probes are instantly pulled away. And now Byun has to be very careful here. If there were stalkers with this, he could lose all of those units, and that would be an absolutely game-ending blow. Keep in mind, he is up 20 army supply. But he is going to be down 1 upgrade here as the armor for Nice is going to finish. That's actually going to prompt Nice to try and go for an attack. He does manage to snipe some of those Widow Mines, but they still do have enough to prevent the flank from coming on in. It's like Byun just really wanting to focus on shutting down this gold expansion. The Stalker is going to wail away from the high ground and do what they can. A lot of probes do go down there. And I think Nice should just kind of sacrifice his position, because if he keeps trying to fight with the Stalkers like that, he's going to lose them quite easily. Now, there is a full wall off here, but the army does catch the Zealots outside, so that's going to lose quite a few of them. Widow Mines, though, saving the day. And now Nice down below 100 supply. He is down half the army supply. I think he might be looking for a killing blow here, but I don't think he has anywhere near enough. Yeah, he's essentially trying to trade out these units, just pure Zealots, pure upgrades. And this is definitely not what he wants to do. But getting the kill is nice, but what does he have back at home? The answer is... okay, his recalled units, but that's still not a lot. Byun being very cautious. He does not want to fight in range of that shield battery, but he is bringing everything to bear. The hammer is about to drop. A lot of force field energy in these sentries right now, though, so you have to be careful fighting around the ramp. You need an open space. Hot pickup does save these marauders, brings them a little bit further away. Now Byun is just waiting for that to finish up. That is time for another warp in. The Widow Mines, though, still fresh, still ready to fire. And they do get massive connections here. Byun pushing his way to victory, and Nice just unable to contend with the tide. GG is called. And Byun will take another series in the Alpha Pro Series. He is definitely the reigning champion. That makes it 16 victories.